What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited, nobody cares, and you ain't supposed to care. All right, and I am back with another review. Now, this time I am going to step a little bit out of my comfort zone, maybe not out of my comfort zone, but out of the Prince zone, into the Prince Protege zone, shall I say, and review Jill Jones. Now, Jill Jones was a Prince protege. She actually was a backup singer for Tina Marie, and Prince met her while on tour with Rick James. They hit it off, and she joined Prince's circle, so to speak. You may remember her. I think the first sighting of Jill Jones in the Prince world was in the 1999 video. She was the one singing the lead vocal along with Lisa. Yes, Lisa. They were like straddling each other on the keyboards. The girl with the hat on, that is Jill Jones. And I think the next sighting of Jill was in Purple Rain. She was the girl who played like the waitress at First Avenue, the one that the first girl that Apollonia runs into and asks about getting a job there at First Avenue. That was Jill. That was Jill Jones. So Jill has started. She was around Prince, basically from the beginning of the rise into superstardom through I think she was around him maybe about 4 or 5 years, in that stratosphere, and she got to do her own solo album as well. Now her solo album was written and produced by Prince, even though she's credited as the writer of many of the songs. If you check out the copyrights, Prince is actually holds the copyright because he wrote all the songs. I think a lot of the on the album jacket it shows that the songs were written by Jill Jones and Joey Coco, which of course was one of Prince's aliases. Now, the Jill Jones LP was released in May of 1987, May 19th of 1987 by Warner Brothers, and the album was a huge flop. It did not chart. It did not make the Hot 100 on any of the major Billboard charts, the Hot 100, the R&B, the pop, dance. It didn't make any of the charts. There were 3 singles released from this record. The most notable one was a song called Mia Boca, and it failed to chart in the United States, but it did make the top 10 in Italy. So that's something. So I guess you can say, hey, she did have a hit somewhere at some point as a solo artist. And Jill's career really never took off. Warner Brothers did not promote this album at all. Nobody knew anything about it, and it just sunk, which is kind of distressing. And I'm sure, as an artist, I'm sure that was very disheartening for her that you put all your because I think she worked on this record for like 3 years to put all your effort into a project, and for your label, who was supposed to support you, to not support you, and for it to fail the way that it did, had to be disheartening. And of course, she never gained any type of traction as a solo artist after that. But all that being said, I'm going to review it anyway. And so what I'll do is, as usual, a brief snapshot of each song. I'll speak on it, and then I'll wrap it up with a brief summation of the proceedings, so to speak. And, well, Jill, you're not on trial, but we'll call it the proceedings when it comes to this record. Now, first and foremost, I like I said, I had no idea that this record was even being released because it wasn't promoted at all. So when the record came out, I can remember I was actually in this record came out right before I joined the military. So I was still in high school when the record came out, graduated then, because in July of '87 I had joined the Air Force and I was in Texas, and then I went to Illinois. So that is where I learned of this record, when I was in Illinois in tech school in Rantoul, Illinois. And this friend of mine, this guy, I forget what his name was, but I called him the Grand Poobah because he was a great pool player. So everybody called him the Grand Poobah. Anyways, he was a huge music fan, and he bought the Jill Jones CD. I think it was CD that he bought. Either way, it don't really matter. Anyways, I didn't even want to listen to it. I was like, I saw the album, the album covers, purple, whatever, and I had some idea that she was in, it was a Prince related release, but I really had no desire to listen to it because one, it was not promoted. There wasn't any single that I heard that I heard nothing from the record, and I just wasn't interested, and I didn't like the album cover either. It's just something about this. I didn't give it a chance. It was just something about this record that kind of just turned me off from the very beginning to where I didn't want to listen to it. So I left it alone. And I never listened to it, even though he tried to get me to. I didn't. So fast forward a few months, and now I'm in Texas, and I'm at the BX, the Base Exchange, which is like a department store that's for the military on base. If you guys don't know what the BX is. Anyways, I'm at the BX, looking through music, and there's Jill Jones. There's the Jill Jones CD or the Jill Jones cassette, and still I was like, nah, I'm not gonna fuck with it. Not gonna fuck with it. And as you all know, I'm a huge music fan. So 3 or 4 times a week, I'm at the BX shuffling through music, see what's new, so what the new releases are. This, that, and the third. Every time I went to the goddamn BX, there it was, Jill Jones staring at me. Finally, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this goddamn record and listen to it because obviously every time I come up in here, this motherfucker's staring at me. So it wants me to hear it. So I bought it, took it home, popped it in, and damn, I loved it. I was like, fuck, what in the hell? It was really, really, really good. Really good. And I listened to this cassette incessantly. Put it in my car and in my truck or whatever, and listen to it over and over and over again. Every track. This was a strong record. I really, really, really liked it. And you know what? There shouldn't have been a doubt that I would like it anyway because Prince wrote all the fucking music. I mean, it's a Prince record. And I'm sure that these songs that he probably recorded way before he even got with her. And they put it together, and he did the guide vocals, this, that, and the third, and she covered it, and and they mastered it, and boom, here you go. So that's where I'll start from when that's my little introduction into my journey into the world of Jill Jones. So, anyways, enough digressing. Let's jump into this shit. All right. The first track, by the way, there are 9 tracks on this record. The first track is just intro. It's called Intro, Baby, You're a Trip. And it's basically her just kind of, riffing a little bit. Just a brief introduction. It's only a minute or so long, so nothing to really speak about there. It's a nice intro, though. I will say that is a very nice intro. And one of the things that really surprised me off the bat when it came to this fucking record is, as soon as I heard her voice, I'm like, she has a really good voice. She has a strong, soulful voice. So I was surprised because, of course, on 1999, of course, her vocals, she's singing along with Jill Jones, and it's not like her voice really stood out in 1999. So I really had no preconceived expectation when it came to listening to her sing. So I was pleasantly surprised off the rip at the quality of her vocals off the rip. So track number 2 is Mia Boca, which was the hit single. It went to number 6 in Italy. It did not chart in the United States. But Mia Boca is a really strong song. Once again, it really highlights her vocal strength. She has a very strong voice, and she equips herself well on this song. Has a nice hook to it, and it's been a while since I've heard it, but I didn't listen to this record today. You know why? Because I lost the CD. I don't know where that CD is, and it's not on Spotify. It's not available on streaming anywhere, so I've got to locate that damn Jill Jones CD. I think I have have it on cassette tape somewhere as well, but I don't have a cassette tape player anymore, so I'm fucked when it comes to Jill Jones right now. So if you have Jill Jones on CD, if you have it on MP3, if you could get it to me, I'd be eternally grateful. So if you're listening to this, if you're taking the time out to listen to this, and you have a copy of Jill Jones, hit me up, inbox me, whatever. We need to hook up. I need to get my hands on that shit. Thank you very much. All right, track number 3 is G-Spot. Now, G-Spot, of course, is a Prince song. Well, all the songs are Prince songs, but this is a song that was heavily bootlegged. I think G-Spot was from Purple Rain. It didn't make the cut to the Purple Rain soundtrack or to the movie, but it was a song that was heavily bootlegged. I had a copy of this, an outtake on a bootleg cassette. One of my many bootleg cassettes of Prince. So G-Spot is one of Prince's most heavily bootleg songs, and it's a tremendous song. Prince's version is tremendous. The version with Jill is not as tremendous. The arrangements changed a little bit. It's not the same song. It's not the same song. Her version is nowhere near as strong as Prince's version of it. But that don't mean it's not good. It's still a great song. It pales when compared to the Prince version of G-Spot. That being said, once again, Jill's voice is so strong that she brings quality to every song that she sang on this record. So I like G-Spot a lot. But obviously, like I said, compared to the Prince version, there is no comparison. But it's very strong. It's a good number 3 track, and I think this one was also released. No, it was not released as a single. It should have been released as a single, but it wasn't. And next up is Violet Blue. This is track 4 from this particular album, and Violet Blue is my absolute favorite song on this particular album. It is my favorite Jill Jones song. This is a tremendous, tremendous song. And it's a shame that this song was not released as a single, because I think it would have been a hit. Very, very deep song. And I'll talk a little bit more in depth about Violet Blue, since it is my favorite song from this particular record. I think the title in itself is a kind of a giveaway, because Violet Blue, of course, we're talking about, Violet Blue is close to purple, so obviously it's a double entendre for Prince. And the song focuses on the lyric is, what's a woman to do? Across the street waits the man that she's promised to, but in her vision is another with eyes of violet blue. So basically what she's saying is that she has someone that she's involved with, but the other person with the eyes of violet blue, that's Prince. I think that's what she's talking about, and that's the person that she actually wants. And it's kind of a heartbreaking song to really think about. It's really deep, because it's about about someone who's interested or in love with someone else, but she's promised to someone else. So she stays with her dilemma is, do I stay with this person I'm in this relationship with? I think she's engaged to get married to this guy when she's basically in love with Prince. So what does she do? Does she and this guy that she's with is a great guy. So does she dump this guy to take her chance and go after Prince, or does she fight that desire and stay with someone that she's not totally committed to? So it's a deep song, and the way that the song is arranged, and the vocal arrangement, and the instrumentation is just tremendous. It has a sad feel to it. It's especially the fade of the song. It's just and she's kind of whining a little bit, and it makes me feel a certain way. It touches me. It gave me the feels. And it sounds great. Her vocals on this is just tremendous. Everything about this song is perfect. It's a perfect Prince song sang by Jill Jones, and she equips herself well on this song. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you listen to Violet Blue. If you don't listen to anything else on this motherfucking record, make sure you listen to goddamn Violet Blue, because Violet Blue is a tremendous song. I highly recommend it. I cannot say enough about it. It's just a great song. Okay, moving on. All right, next up is With You. Um, this is a cover of the song from Prince's second album, "With You." You may remember from Prince's second record. It's a ballad. It had like a country tinge to it a little bit, and once again, it's an updated version. And of course, just like G Spot, her rendition is nowhere near as strong as Prince's, but she still equips herself well. And like I said, I think Jill Jones is incapable of singing a bad song because she has such a strong voice. So some folks just have that. Some singers just have that. That their voice is just so indelible, and they are such a good singer that even a bad song has quality to it because just of the strength of their vocals, and Jill Jones falls into that. And I think it's really is a shame that she didn't get more recognition. But her voice is very strong on all the cuts, and so her vocals give every song that redeeming quality. Next up, All Day, All Night. And this is a song with The Revolution. This is an up-tempo dance type track. Very good. Once again, has a lot of power behind it. And once again, it's those Jill Jones vocals. I keep going back to the vocals. And every song, that's just what stands out to me. It's just the strength of a voice. And Prince, who is a great producer, of course, he puts her vocals out front because he knew this bitch can sing. Okay? This record might not do shit, but damn it, you're going to know that she can fucking sing. So her vocals are front and center. It's not it's not mellowed out. It's not the music doesn't drown her out or anything. The instrumentation does not drown her out. Everything about the way Prince produced this song, he put her voice out front, which is a very smart move. All right, next up is For Love. This is a duet with Prince. Prince co-sings the vocals, and he does the background ad-libs and everything. And once again, it has an up-tempo sound to it. So it's a danceable type, club type track. And once again, strong vocals. Her and Prince, it's a good song. It's a good song. Next up is My Man. Once again, that's track 8, My Man. If I said it once, I know I'm sounding fucking redundant. Strong vocals, good song. Good up-tempo song. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And the final track on the record is Baby You're a Trip. And of course, at the beginning of the intro is Baby You're a Trip. So they close the record with the complete song. And Baby You're a Trip is, once again, it's a mid-tempo ballad, and it's very good. I know I'm sounding redundant as shit, and this review is not very helpful, or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm just saying that every song is good because every song is fucking good. And there's nothing. The standout, of course, is Violet Blue, but every track has a redeeming quality to it. None of the tracks really stand out except for Violet Blue, but every track is strong. And Baby You're a Trip is a nice close to this album. So there you have it. Jill Jones, her self-titled LP. If you can get your hands on this thing, get your hands on it. It's out of print, so obviously you're not going to find it anywhere. But if you can, I guess you got to go on like to Amazon or someplace, or somebody's out there hawking it or whatever. If you can get your hands on it, give it a listen. It's damn good. It's damn good. So I highly recommend that you give this a try if you are a Prince aficionado. And you are interested in everything, that Prince touched and his proteges and everyone within his circle, then of the artists that he produced within his circle, like Sheila E. and people like that, and Vanity, Apollonia, Jill Jones is right there with all those people. She takes a back seat to no one. And I think of all the Prince proteges, she has by far the strongest voice. By far. It's not even a close second. I'm not talking about Bonnie Boyer or Ruthie Gaines or anybody like that. I'm talking about the artists that Prince produced as solo acts within his family tree, so to speak. By far, Jill Jones was the best singer, and not bad looking either. So there you have it. I highly recommend it. It's a very good album. It's a shame once again that Warner Brothers did not promote it, that nobody got a chance to listen to it. I didn't even give it its due when it first came out, so I'm just as guilty as anyone else. So in a way, I kind of feel sorry for Jill because I think she was really on to something. I think if she was properly promoted, she had a small window there where she could have been, in that stratosphere. Maybe not in the stratosphere, but somewhere maybe in that second tier, say below Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul and Whitney Houston, all those folks. She would have been a cut or two below them, but still in that same type of, solo female artist, category, stratosphere, so to speak. I think she could have had a solid 3 to 4 year run, and kind of made her name for herself. So I'm not quite sure what she's up to now. I've seen her on YouTube doing some things or whatever. So I don't know exactly how her career kind of panned out after that. Once she left Prince's Circle, I never heard from her again. So I know she had dropped some other singles and everything. So she was still making music, but obviously independently, and nothing ever really came of it. So it's kind of a tragic tale. Well, maybe not a tragic tale, but I just feel that she maybe deserved a more of opportunity than she actually got, and that's just me. But anyways, what do you think? Have you ever heard this goddamn record? And if you have, what do you think about it? Am I off base, or am I correct when I say that Jill Jones had a very strong voice? I think I am, and I will take the Pepsi challenge with that shit. So if you don't think so, you need to justify why you don't think so. You need to let me know, comment below, and let me know what your thoughts are on Jill Jones. So that being said, subscribe, sign up for notifications, spread the word. Still trying to get my subscribers up. Still trying to hit 1,000. So please keep riding with me. Once again, I'm sorry for my slowdown in content, but damn it, I do it when I can. But I appreciate you sticking with me. And listen to Jill Jones. Definitely listen to Violet Blue, but listen to the whole album and tell me what you think. Because damn it, you just heard what Lonzo thinks. Bye, y'all.